My strawberry Kool-Aid pie recipe is easy and delicious. With just a few ingredients and a few minutes, you can make a great Southern style no-bake dessert that tastes absolutely amazing. Let's go over the ingredients. You will need one 9-inch graham cracker pie crust. I'm using homemade, but you can definitely use store-bought. One 8-ounce tub of Cool Whip or some other type of whip topping. One 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk, and one small packet of strawberry Kool-Aid, 0.14 ounces or 3.9 grams. Although you can definitely make this pie with just those 4 ingredients, I want to take mine to the next level, so I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of lemon juice to help bring out the fruit flavor, 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt to balance out the flavors, a little bit of cinnamon, probably about 1/4 of a teaspoon, sprinkled into the bottom of the graham cracker crust for more flavor, and a few drops of red food coloring, probably somewhere 6 to 12. We'll see. Like I said, this Southern style strawberry Kool-Aid pie is super easy. All we have to do is pour the ingredients into the bowl and then mix them together and then pour them into the graham cracker crust. So here I'm just going to empty out the can of sweetened condensed milk. I am using full fat. I don't know how it would work out with reduced fat or fat-free sweetened condensed milk, so if you try that when you make this recipe, let me know how it turns out in the comment section. And now I'm going to add in the strawberry Kool-Aid. If you do not have Kool-Aid where you live, you could use some other type of strawberry drink mix. Kool-Aid is not sweetened, so if you do have to substitute some other drink mix, I would use one that is not sweetened. Add in the lemon juice, the salt. May not need any food coloring, but from what I saw on the internet, I think I might want to add a little bit, so I'm just going to start off with 6 drops. Well, 7, I guess. I'm just going to mix that together. Just finished mixing that all together. As you can see, it's a very nice shade of red. So side. And now for the Kool-Aid or whip topping. I'm going to take it out of the container. I defrosted it in the refrigerator for a couple hours. Then I left it on the countertop so it could come a bit closer to room temperature. Finger here. So whenever you are combining 2 things of different densities, the sweetened condensed milk is a lot thicker, a lot denser. Instead of just stirring like you normally would, it's best to fold. So I'm going to put my spatula, or you could use a large spoon for this as well. Take it down the bottom and then bring it up to the top. Bottom to the top, and just fold everything in this folding motion. This will help prevent the Kool-Aid from deflating. Just keep it fluffier and lighter. Even if you did just stir it normally, I don't think it would be a total disaster. I think Kool-Aid pie recipes are meant to be easy and forgiving, but if you want to make it a little bit better, fold instead of stir. It does take a couple minutes, but it's worth the wait. As I'm stirring this, I feel like I want it to be a little bit darker in color, so I'm going to add some more food coloring. So we'll say a total of 6 drops of liquid red food coloring. I just finished mixing together the sweetened condensed milk and the Cool Whip. As you can see, it's a beautiful pinkish red color. I'm glad I added the food coloring. Now here I have my graham cracker crust. Like I said, you could use store-bought or homemade. I'm going to take a 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'm just going to sprinkle that into the bottom. If you are using a store-bought crust, I highly recommend that you sprinkle in a little bit of extra cinnamon. It's going to help make it taste homemade. So now I'm just going to take the filling and pour it in. It's actually already starting to thicken up on me. So like with a lot of easy no-bake recipes, they move pretty fast. So before you start, make sure you have all your ingredients ready to go. Now I'm just going to use my spoon to even out the filling. Spread it out evenly. And then I'm going to put my no-bake strawberry Kool-Aid pie into the refrigerator for a minimum of 4 hours, if not overnight, so that it will harden. I am personally not going to cover it. If you have one of those store-bought crusts that comes with a plastic lid, you could feel free to put that on it, but whenever I've made pies like these with my homemade crusts, I don't think I've ever put a top on it or covered it with plastic or anything like that, and it's always been fine for me.
Normally, I let things chill in the refrigerator overnight, but this time I just chilled the pie 4 to 5 hours. As you can see, the filling was a very bright, very intense red color, and I couldn't wait to dig in. And when I took the first bite, I knew that my strawberry Kool-Aid pie recipe was a big success because it was absolutely delicious. This pie was definitely fruity. Although there definitely was a strawberry flavor, I felt like it was more of a fruit punch flavor than a strictly strawberry flavor. I'm guessing that's because of the lemon in the background. I actually don't think I've ever had strawberry Kool-Aid as a drink, so I'm not sure what that tastes like. But like I said, I felt like this pie tasted more like a fruit punch pie than a strictly strawberry pie. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong. Other people might disagree. But if you make this pie, know that it definitely tastes good. It was very fruity, but at least in my opinion, the strawberry flavor was not as strong as I was expecting. Although the filling was definitely good, I think what took this pie to the next level was a homemade graham cracker crust with cinnamon. Cinnamon goes really well with graham crackers, and it also goes very well with berries, including strawberries. In addition to the great combination of flavors, I also liked the amazing combination of textures. The filling was soft and creamy, and the crust was crispy and crunchy, the two contrasting and combining together perfectly. And now that I've cut out the first slice and I'm holding it up to the camera, you can see that it held its shape very well. The filling wasn't runny, it wasn't overly jiggly, it definitely sliced very nicely. And once again, I have to point out the color. There was no mistaking that this was a strawberry pie, the color representing the flavor perfectly. I know I added 12 drops of liquid red food coloring. Not everyone likes to add food coloring to recipes. You don't have to do that with this. I think it would be perfectly fine without the food coloring. But like I said, I think that bright red color just made it even more appealing. Even though this was the first strawberry Kool-Aid pie that I had ever made, I thought it turned out very well. However, in the future, I would like to experiment with adding crushed freeze-dried strawberries. I've added crushed freeze-dried strawberries to a cookie recipe and a fudge recipe, and I thought that adding the real strawberry flavor really took those things to the next level. So I think that adding some freeze-dried strawberry powder to this pie would help give it more of an authentic strawberry flavor. Another thing that I wanted to point out about this pie is that I felt like it lost flavor really quickly. Like I said, I cut into it 4 to 5 hours after making it and it tasted amazing, but then the next day I could tell that it was nowhere near as flavorful. I'm not sure exactly why. I'm pretty sure it has to do with being exposed to oxygen and maybe covering it would have helped, but when you make this at home, know that I recommend eating it the same day that you make it, because if you save it, it's not going to be as good the second day or the third day. Like I've already said, my strawberry Kool-Aid pie recipe was a big success. It was easy to make and delicious to eat. And if you like cinnamon, whether you use a homemade or store-bought crust, I recommend sprinkling some into the bottom before you pour in the filling. If you make this recipe, I know you'll like it. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.